So you're building a website for your business, and as you're doing that, you're making many decisions based on your personal likes and dislikes and your preferences. So maybe as a website visitor, you really don't like being interrupted with one of these lightbox pop-up forms, so you don't want any of that on your site. Maybe personally, you really don't like long form sales letters with just all this miles and miles of content and lots of text. Maybe you really hate, huge colorful buttons that look obnoxious, and maybe you also don't like big headlines like that. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter. This is something I see quite a lot with solopreneurs and small businesses. When they're building their websites, this is something that's holding you back quite a lot. It's just your own preferences as a website visitor. And so, like the examples I said, another one would be autoplay. That's a very polarizing example, right? People say, I hate autoplay, so I'm never going to use it on my website. But really, the purpose of your website is to serve your business, is to bring visitors towards that conversion goal that you have. And ultimately, the purpose of that is to have a website that's effective at bringing the value that your business offers or your product offers to those people. And what your personal preferences are just doesn't matter nearly as much as you might think. We often see this in the comments and reactions we get when we release new products, and with all our products, the goal is always to make them conversion focused, to make them help you build that conversion focused website. But every once in a while we'll get a comment like, oh, why did you add this? People don't like this, it's just annoying. Or I would never use this, or you should do something else, or whatever. Where someone looks at a feature that we built and said, well, I personally don't like this, so you should have spent your time doing something else. But when we add a feature, it doesn't have anything to do with what we personally like or dislike. It's usually based on, we see what's being tested, we see some case studies, and we see, well, this is something that has worked in many cases, so we want to add it to the product so you can test it. And just to reiterate, I know I say this a lot, right? You should never just follow the herd. You should never just use something for the sake of it. We always want to encourage you to test to see what actually works best on your website. Knowing this, you can avoid the two big problems that arise when you focus too much on your personal preferences. And the first is that you limit your options too much. So maybe you don't like long sales pages, but maybe that's what would work best on your website. And if you take away that option from yourself, then it could really hurt your bottom line. So you shouldn't limit your options like that. And you should, in some cases, also examine why you don't want to do these things. Because maybe the problem isn't that you don't like to create a long sales page. Maybe in general, you don't like to sell, you don't like to go for the close. But again, if you want to bring that value to people that your business offers, you eventually have to go for the close. And the second problem is, let's say, a misallocation of resources. Or what I really mean is, where are you spending your time? Are you spending your time making small cosmetic changes, making changes on your website because you prefer, the kind of, I want a different shade of purple kind of change? Or are you investing that same time? You could be investing that same time into running some A/B tests, into testing a new landing page, into testing some opt-in strategies to build your mailing list faster. There's much greater value in this bucket over here of let's test some stuff and increase conversions than in sometimes endless tinkering and customizing of small details because you kind of personally prefer it that way. The bottom line is, when it comes to optimizing your website and building a really effective website for your business, your personal preferences as a website visitor just don't matter as much as you probably think they do. So take a step back and do what's best for the business. I'm Shane from Thrive Themes. Thank you for watching, and let me know your thoughts and reactions to this by leaving a comment below.